What up, what up? It's your boy Trav Moody from A Toy Kinda Mood doing yet another Jada Toys video. It's been a minute, guys. I mean, we had that amazing interview with June from Jada Toys, the lead designer, the head honcho over there at Jada, talking all things Jada. Freaking fantastic. Over 18,500 folks tuned in to see that talk at San Diego Comic-Con 2024. That melts my heart, guys. I mean, that is just, thank you so much for checking that out. That's awesome. We got to get him on the show. But there hasn't been a whole lot of Hadouken, Shoryuken action in the streets lately. It's been kind of a dead zone, and I see the comments. People are skeptical. When's the pre-order? For Guile, Cammy, DJ, when we get in Blanca? It has been a minute. So I figured, why not do a top 10 video? And the reason, at my honorable mention, we've got Player 2 Red Target Edition Chun-Li, is because she ruins it. It would have been a perfect 10 figures in a line. Instead, we have 11 because we needed a third Chun-Li. But I got lots of love for Chun-Li, so you see that later on. But when it comes to this one, she's cool. She's just red. But even maybe the worst figure in the Jada Toys Street Fighter line is still fantastic. And it's only the worst because it's a repaint. If we're getting into details, it's an amazing figure. But Red Chun-Li, honorable mention. All right, jumping in at number 10, it's another Player 2. It's Ryu. And I did a full review, not to rhyme like a fool, because I'm old school, like Travis Moody. Anyway, look. I did a full review. It was my first time doing a Jada review, getting the Palmar exclusive Player 2 Ryu. This version of Ryu has a newer, lighter skin tone. It's got the brown gloves that were requested. Many in the community were doing kit bashes, flipping back and forth. So you'd think maybe he's better than the original Ryu, but the way I base it is he's a redo. And it had some of the similar paint app issues that Ryu did. Still a great figure. We're going to do whiskey scores in our top 10. There is no figure, and I won't give a whiskey score for the honorable mention, but there is no figure less than a 4 out of 5 in the Jada Toys, in my opinion. I know people were ripping Ryu. Some people were saying this is the greatest Ryu ever. This is a $25 figure. So what you're getting with Ryu is tremendous. But look, Player 2, repaint, serviceable, a 4 out of 5 figure at number 10. Crazy. At number 9, what do you know? It's Ryu, OG Ryu, pretty much the first figure to launch in the Jada Toys line. I know Fei Long also dropped right alongside it, but this one, obviously, as the titular character of Street Fighter, he is the Street Fighter. He is their Master Chief, Mario, Scorpion, I mean, whatever, right? He's the face of the game. Now, there were some paint smudge issues, and obviously I'm not going to do a deep dive review on something that's been reviewed a million times, but I actually like all this. I don't know if it's even smudging or it's like dust. It looks like kind of battle-worn damage. I know they clean that up. The figures I have are the original factory figures, so Chun-Li, Fei Long, that whole wave 1. I don't have the redos or the refactory upgrades or whatever. I just got the first editions. So that's what we're going by. The skin tone, people have said it's wrong. You look at the game, it's more orange or yellow. They obviously fixed that with Player 2. The glove color, brown, right? And it's red here. They listened, obviously, when it came to Player 2. Now, when it came to the refactory, you didn't get brown gloves or anything, so that's where the kit bashing came in. I was blown away by this figure right away, despite its errors. And at the time, I gave it 4.5 whiskeys because we only had 3 figures. But now that we've got 10, okay, 11, I'm going 4 out of 5. Despite its flaws, it just set the tone. Just the way it feels, just the way it articulates. Like, this was the figure you had on your desk, right? Despite, some of the smaller issues, it was a bang-up figure and still very important to this day. 4 out of 5 for my man Ryu. But at number 9, sorry, buddy.
Yeah!
Number 8, it's the Comic-Con exclusive Pink Chun-Li. I did a full review of her in Violent Ken, who is a little higher on the list. If she wasn't a repaint, Pink Chun-Li would be a 5 out of 5. And some people think the pink one's better than the blue. I digress. But amazing color on her. It pops. And those additional effects, obviously, the Kikukin translucent blast orb. I mean, that laughing victory face hand gesture just really made it over the top. But once again, repaint, redo. It's not the original figure. So, is it an improvement? By default, because it comes with more stuff. But it also costs more. Just because it's a repaint, it's phenomenal. I'm still going 4 out of 5 for my girl, Pink Chun-Li, at number 8. Shoryuken in at number 7. It's Ken Masters, and another figure I did a full review of in a video. Check that out. The player select sculpt is real dope. He's got the raging sculpt. I think the sculpts are on point. That's why he's leveled above Ken. Also, Ken is my main, even though Tony from Hasbro whooped my ass at Comic-Con. But that's neither here nor there. I love Ken. Yes, in my review I gave it a 4.5, but we're getting more figures. They're better and better and better. I'm going to go 4.25. Still a stellar figure in the line, a step above the first wave slightly because of the facial expressions and some of the other kinks in the work. But they nailed it right off the rip with Ken. Awesome fig at number 7. All right, number 6 is Fei Long. You know what? If you put him in the top 3, even if you said it was your favorite or you thought he was the best, I wouldn't argue with you at all. He might even have the best articulation of the bunch. I mean, he's absolutely in the top 3. He's just the least most popular character in the line. I mean, that's just where he falls. He's Bruce Lee. Fei Long. I mean, he's super dope. Maybe the most fun guy this side of Dalsim to play with and articulate. He's just not popular. A lot of people don't correlate Fei Long with Street Fighter, but I do love that it came out right away in the first wave. It shows that Jada has confidence in getting us all of the figures. I actually had him at number 7 and I was like, nah, that's ludicrous. His articulation is way too good, but 4.25 whiskeys for my guy Fei Long at number 6. All right, top 5 time. It's Evil Ryu, a very fun SDCC exclusive from 2023, the first of Jada Toys. Comic-Con exclusive. Comes with the different Hadouken orbs. He's got that menacing sculpt. Torn cuffs, more pronounced torn cuffs on the gi. 4.25 dash 4.5. He's pretty badass. I think a little underrated, actually, but really superior. Starts to get to that next level of figures for Jada Toys with Evil Ryu at number 5. Number 4 is M. Bison, and along with Dalsim, I got a few months ago from Paul Mart store. Not soon enough. I bought them, paid a little bit of extra from Paul Mart, hoping for a swift release, and they basically got it when they hit my target. Actually, they hit my target, but since I already put the pre-order in and you can't cancel, it's one of the most frustrating purchases I made over the years. People were finding them. I'm in Southern California. They were finding them at the Targets here, and I even had a few people find them for me, but they lived far. The whole thing was just weird, and I was just in disgust. I I was boycotting it. No, I just didn't open it, but this seems to be the perfect time to talk about it. I know one of the things with M. Bison was this face, and a lot of these faces, like the new Guile, have that like milk mustache thing. Pulling up closer, you got the awesome looking wings with the detail on the hat. You could see just the texture that they use. There's not a whole lot of detail in the stoic face either. Probably the preference rather than the milk mustache. Upper torso, you could see, just has all that fine detail. Just looks like a Homelander suit or Superman suit or something like that on there. So great work on the detail. Now, as far as his torso, I don't know. I mean, I think in hand it looks much better, but in pictures I was like, oh, he's looking a little pudgy. He's got all these layers. It just kind of looks like, flubber, if you will. So this is, an intimidating guy, looking pudgy and stomp. But now that I think about it, it probably is pretty accurate to the older, those war generals' bodies. So, you get the bottom of the coat and it does open because a lot of pictures I saw were just like this. And I'm like, oh, that's stiff. Now, when you open up the legs, it has that open detail to show more action or whatever. But yeah, just everything really pops, all the silvers and whatnot on the gauntlets, on the knees, and everything like that. And he just feels really good. Like this feels so much better than like a Marvel Legends. Like I just reviewed Venom, gave it a 4 out of 5, which is probably extremely generous. Just probably happy to have it on time from Walmart. You got look at all that range that you can have just for a big guy. It's just you want to compare it to like the Venom or Sabretooth, and this is on another level with that ball rocker and just the amount of tilts that you can do. And it just look, no neck problems like Venom. You can go all the way up and sideways and everything. Doing a little more of a mini review for this just because I haven't shown it on the channel yet, and he's completely different than what we've got before. This guy's a lot of fun to pose with. Feels really good, especially a guy that's top heavy. And then you get the wired cape. It's kind of got like a darkish forest green, maybe a Doctor Doom like a greenish black, and then you get the blackish gray inside on the interior. But yeah, you could do whatever you want with this thing. It's just wired, just awesome. I mean, why is this guy number 4, right? Now I'm playing with it, I'm like, he should be like number 2 or number 3, but I don't know, I'm just trying to be different, I guess. And Bison's awesome. I mean, yeah, he's fantastic. This guy is absolutely amazing in person. I just wish there was like a little more going on in the face, but I get it is pretty accurate to the games. The last bit of detail here, of course, are the shoulder pads. They pop right off from the back. Do that. And they seem like they're going to be fragile, but they're not bad. And then you're stuck with these things. No, I'm kidding. So inside the shoulder pads that you get extra says right, but they're his right, I believe. Hook the front and snap it like that. There you go, snapped on. Cool. And voila! Yeah, that only took me 5 minutes, but kind of got it done. Probably not totally perfect and accurate, but I could dig it. All right, last thing, I do love this purple blast effect. I think the translucent on it is so gorgeous. But it's the height. M. Bison, right next to Fei Long and Ken. I think it's really good. He could have been a little bigger. But that said, the height is nowhere as bad as I thought. This dude's awesome. He rocks all the way around. Love him. Much better in hand than any kind of promo picks. He's a stud. Probably deserves to be in the top 3, but I suck at life. So 4.5 out of 5 whiskeys for the Ring General M. Bison. All right, number 3, it's another man of violence. It's Violent Ken. Another figure I did a full review of course, it was paired with Pink Chun-Li, the 2 SDCC 2024 exclusives. Throw in the barrels, the Psycho Energy Fist Blast effect, 3 tremendous face sculpts. I absolutely adore this shouting face with the wavy layered hair. The Psycho Energy wash on the body is more pronounced than Evil Ryu. Just terrific. One of the best figures from Comic-Con period. 4.5-4.75. Almost perfect. I don't think anybody else is going to pick Violent Ken over M. Bison, but their name is not Travis Moody. All right, and the moment you've all been waiting for, it is the number 1 Jada. No, I'm going against the grain. Dalsim is number 2 on my list. I know. He's like considered the best action figure, period, among many of my YouTube peers, but pull him in closer and look at that face sculpt. It is dynamic. There's just so much to it. There's different shading in the cheeks. You got metal earrings. They're metal, yeah. And then you go over here and you got plastic ones, but whatever. Just face sculpt. You got the skeletons. Not a whole lot of shading or detail on them, but they're pretty cool on the necklace. And look at the detail just on the necklace alone. They don't mess around. You're getting your bang for your buck with Jada. All right, and then Yoga Flame. Yes, the Yoga Flame face sculpt, shouting. That one looks great with the mouth open. I know not everyone's a big fan of these mouth open face sculpts, but this one is among the best in the line for sure, along with Violent Ken. I believe I said that like about almost everybody. They're just Jada's killing it. I just love everything they're doing. But this is freaking phenomenal. This Dalsim is shredded. He's ripped. He's not as lanky or as weak. You know, you got the Gumby arms and everything, but just look at that chiseled torso. He's ripped, shredded abs. You get the legs. Just this guy hasn't had anything to eat or drink his entire life. He's just living off yoga and being as strong as hell because of it. But now he just looks awesome. And you mean he looks compact. He looks like put together, man. He'll still toss you around as well as shoot flames at you. So that's cool. One of the major issues some folks had, this is like real deep cut reviewing stuff, but like, I mean, look at the kneecap and look at the thigh and the ankle. I mean, that's close, right? I mean, there is a slightly different shade there, but in this lighting, you really can't tell. Then you go on the elbows, and I don't know. That's just some being nitpicky there, right? So I don't know what all this is. Okay, I don't know what all this is, but it looks like we've got some kind of torn up, paint just bleeding over there. But it looks like, I don't know, it looks kind of cool in a way. Yeah, I know. I like everything, right? But yeah, if you look on this side, it's pretty clean. So we've got some paint rub issues there, but that's more of a QC thing than a design issue. But yeah, no bueno on that for sure. Not going to make excuses. Come over here, looking at the diaper. Love the ridge across there. Looks like there's another paint app issue that we have here. But one thing that's nice is you got this paint wash, almost like a red orange kind of bleeding through, giving it a lot of detail. And then on the gauntlets, yeah, there's so much detail all the way around the ankle wraps and the wrist wraps. I call them gauntlets, but they're wrist wraps, like tape. And then you get the ridges at the bottom. So yeah, they're just, and then you look at the back, yoga butt time. But yeah, again, the same, just nice texture, nice faded like wash paints in there. So yeah, just extremely high detailed is my dude Dalsim. All right, and before we get into any big poses, want to show you these stretchy arms. And yeah, they're just like gumbo, right? So you bend them in and they seem like really high quality. It's crazy that they would do this. Not too many toy lines are doing bendy stuff, major bendy stuff, right, with their normal 1/12 scale. So, and it just clips on there. So you'd come over here, pop open the tricep, and then pop that right on. Boom. And then it's a fisty. Now, one thing is, there's no wrist swivel there, so that could be an issue, and you can't pop this off because it's all wire inside, so that would just make it really hard to articulate. But you just do this, and you can bend it as you will, and put the bracelet down and everything. And it's just a quick example of a nice pose that we have here. So you can pretty much do anything you desire with this Dalsim. All right, and the pose you've all been waiting for. I got it close. This is the closest thing I got to a blast effect. It's from the Star Wars Incinerator Trooper, but does not come with a flame effect. So in addition to some of the limbs that are amazingly bendy, as you can see, you can make a McDonald's arch with it, but you can't do a whole lot with the punchies and the feet because you don't have the ankle or wrist articulation. And then he doesn't come with a flame effect, but you can find some of your own. And then what's crazy is his torso articulation is not great enough to actually do the full realistic stance. That's about as close as I can get. It's good enough for me, but it's not exactly going to be one-to-one with the video game. And the wild thing about Dalsim is he actually doesn't have that deep of a butterfly cut. It's kind of limited, and it feels sticky. It feels kind of messy. I had a better butterfly cut on the Marvel Legends Retro Venom. That's going to just piss everybody off, but it's true. It's fair, but it just doesn't look like it goes a whole lot. And then when you get a character like this who requires a massive butterfly range because he's a yoga master. It's a little disappointing. And you know that the diaphragm does move back and forth pretty well, and the side range is really good too. Well, Dalsum has absolutely tremendous kicking range, you know, despite some of the limitations he's got up top. Look at that. It's awesome. You know, this probably could have been a deluxe figure, a set of fisties, some flaming effects. Will we see one in a deluxe package? Maybe a player 2 variant, player 3? Let me know what you want. But he is just damn near perfect. I'm going to go 4.75 out of 5 for my guy, Dalsim. And it's victory pose time for the #1 Jada Toys Ultra Street Fighter 2. The final Challengers action figure is Chun freaking Li. Absolutely amazing figure for $24.99 price point. She is perfect right out of the box. Then Moody, why do you have this face sculpt and hand gesture that was not part of the box? Because I feel like it. It's just a bonus on top. But let's break down what makes this Chun-Li so special. Chun-Li might be the most posable, fun female action figure at that $24.99 price line since Marvel Legends Black Widow, the anniversary one. I mean, she's just absolutely tremendous. I mean, it is college football season, so for her to do the Heisman makes a lot of sense, but she's so classic and iconic with all the poses, and you can do them all. But that female buck, just looking strong, thighs that could kill, petite but strong, bendable, all these adjectives I shouldn't say out loud or I'm going to get in lots of trouble. But the paint on the figure itself is just super clean. Now, this is the first edition. It's not even as clean as the other one. There's still going to be some paint rubbing, some detail here that looks a little wonky compared to the new one, and that's fine. It's fine by me. It doesn't look like cheap paint. It looks like there's a whole new molding that went into all this stuff. And I know I really dug Violent Ken and Dalsim, but this might be my favorite of all. She's so freaking animated and awesome. It's like a perfect amalgamation between like the video game, the animated series, just Jada just making it its own. And for Chun-Li, it's articulation. Maybe the best in the entire line. You could do any kind of pose you want with her, but it's the design of the execution. It's the design execution on her that makes that articulation so wonderful. And to boot, Chun was in my top 3 non-G.I. Joe figures for 2023. Probably would wind up in the top 3 anyway. And technically, she is a G.I. Joe. I mean, Street Fighter versus G.I. Joe, right? That's why we love Street Fighter so much. But at the end of the day, the Jada Toys Street Fighter 2 Chun-Li is one of the greatest action figures of all time. I know everyone's riding high on the recently released Dalsim and M. Bison, but do you have Chun-Li at least in your top 3? Is it also your #1? And if you stayed this far and made it through the top 10, do yourself a service and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. And please like the video, like. I actually care more about comments. There are hundreds of comments on the June interview, and I replied to them all. So let's have a conversation. I learned a lot from you guys in the toy community. But in the meantime, give me your ranking. Do you have all the Jada toys? Are you guys all in, even on the player 2s and the variants? Let me know your top 11, top 10, top 3, top 5. Let's make some lists. Let's have some fun. A major shout out to Animated Recreation for the amazing thumbnail, the character selection screen. I had to modify it and update it with the newer characters, and you could tell how sloppy my adjustments were. But my guy did a total clean job. Go check out his YouTube channel. It's terrific, and he's on Reddit as well. Animated Recreation. Check him out. Thanks again, bro. Guys, for Toy Kind of Mood, I'm Travis Moody. I'll catch you guys in the toy aisle. Peace.